Thanks for joining me for another yoga practice. Today's session is going to focus on the lower chain. So we're going to begin a bit differently today, starting in a supine position, lying on the spine. So grabbing some cushions, perhaps if necessary, to tuck under the head. We'll begin lying flat on our backs. Palms out at the sides, feet splay open. And we'll take 3 breaths here. You can put a hand on the lower belly if you wish to feel the breath filling up. And exhale. Inhale, filling the belly. And exhale. One last time, inhale, fill up the belly. And exhale. Bringing the knees in, the feet in, we'll begin to hug the knees. If the hips are tight, just a gentle hold on the knees here, drawing some circles with the legs. Giving the hips a little bit of a massage. Get in the other direction. Loosening up the lower back and the hips. Good. Hugging in the knees and we'll roll the ankles. Just stretch the feet a little bit. Good. And shake it out. Pushing any cushions away if you've got them. We'll bring our right arm up and slowly roll over onto our sides, coming up into a seated position. So now that the spine feels a little bit more awakened, the hips are good, we'll start with butterfly pose. Bringing the feet together in front, knees out at the sides. I like to lift the gift here. So what I mean by that, just hands tuck under and lift your butt up so you find those sit bones, the bony landmarks in your butt that you want to kind of ground into. Nice tall spine will rise out of that. So the feet don't have to be super close to your body. You can leave a bit of space, especially if your hips are tight and you find you're really resistant to this stretch. So give yourself some space. And take a few breaths here. Letting the hips slowly open, feeling an opening through the inner thighs. Good. Now we'll begin to bring our right leg out. Our left knee is going to tuck in. So we're going to go into a one-legged wide fold. Firmly planted through the hips still. Again, adjusting as necessary so you're still contacting the ground with those sit bones. We want to stay firmly planted here. Your left leg will come in as much as is comfortable for your knee. We turn towards the right leg and begin to walk out. Now, this is a pretty deep stretch through the side body, right into the glutes, into the butt. So if it feels a bit tight, maybe just staying here is good. We don't want to be hunching over. We want to be sitting nice and tall. Feeling a stretch through the hamstring, through the side body, through the glutes. Good. On an inhale, coming back up. Bringing in the right leg, we'll just do a switch. So bringing in the right, the left comes out. And same thing, adjusting as necessary, making sure we're firmly planted, spine is nice and tall, beginning to walk the hands out. No hunching, staying nice and tall, Maybe that's just a slight lean over the leg. If there's plenty of space, keep walking. Feeling the stretch through the back of the leg, through the side body on the other side. On an inhale, rising up. And exhaling, bring the legs back together. Pausing here for one more moment. Let's take the legs out in front, moving into a hamstring stretch. So, turn to the side here. Taking the legs out in front. There can be a slight bend in the knees if the hamstrings are really tight. Same thing here, lifting the gift, connecting to the ground through the sit bones. On an exhale, begin to fold forward, nice tall spine, and just walk the hands out as far as you can. Feeling that stretch through the hamstrings, through the lower back, not forcing anything here. In life, and in yoga, if you force anything, you're usually going to end up hurt. As you exhale, see if you can create a little bit more space for yourself. Inhale, checking in with the spine. Exhale, creating length. On our next inhale, begin to walk the hands back up. Moving into firewood pose. So coming back to a cross-legged position, what we want to do is stack the right leg on top of the left, kind of like you're stacking firewood. This is also called ankle to knee pose, as you want the ankle and the knees to stack. At a first glance, if you have tight hips, you might be feeling this already. At a first glance, this pose might seem a bit docile. But as soon as you add a little bit of a forward lean, again, maintaining nice straight posture into this pose, you will feel the stretch through your glutes. This is great for targeting the hips. Good. And on an inhale, rising up. Releasing the legs, give them a bit of a shake, moving into the other side. So we're going to stack the left leg on top of the right this time. Maintaining contact with the sit bones still in this pose as well. We never want the hips to be lifting off the ground. We want to stay rooted into our mat, into the floor. Wherever you can, begin to make some space in this pose, walking forward, giving yourself a slight lean, making sure you're really feeling it in that left hip. Good, and inhale, begin to slowly lift up. The last kind of pose, taking the hands behind, and just giving the legs a little bit of a roll out, massaging the glutes. Coming into a final seated position, bringing the hands to heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that we've created some space in your hips and let go of some tension. Namaste.